Alright, so quick preview video here on these two products that will be showing up in a future 5-inch build. So I got these new AOS 2207 motors. So these are 2207 1980 kV for 6S build. And then I'm going to talk about this new NewBeeDrone Infinity all-in-one flight controller. And this is a board made in partnership with FETTec. I think, well, I'm pretty much a FETTec newbie, so I'm not going to really be able to add much to the conversation regarding FETTec, but I think it is partially based on KISS firmware from like ages ago. Obviously new hardware here. But first, let's talk about the motors real quick. So, not much to say about the motors really. I will talk about these in the video, of course, once I get a chance to fly them. These are supposed to be some of the best 2207 motors out there, supposedly. I've heard some mixed feeling, or I guess mixed reactions to this. Some say it's actually larger than a 2207. It's like a 2207.5 or something like that. Of course, I'll take it apart and I'll measure with a caliper and all that, but you can kind of see pretty typical. Got, you know, your nice big windings there. The magnets look to be curved and they're pretty thin. But yeah, I'll have the weight and everything in that final video. And of course, these are made by RCN Power. It's a nice motor. All the stuff made by RCN Power is very nice, very smooth bearings. You know, I've flown a fair number of 2207 motors here. I think a lot of them are from iFlight and a few other brands. So we'll see. I'm not really sure what kind of 5-inch frame I'm going to be putting it on yet. I think I might be trying out that new SpeedyBee one, that Mario 5 that's coming up pretty soon. So these may end up on that. This NewBeeDrone product here is a flight controller plus 4-in-1 ESC all-in-one. And you can see here it's a single large PCB. It's very thick. And you can see you put the you got the motor pads here on the bottom and on the top, also on the side there. Rubber grommets are already installed. Micro USB for the connection to the configurator, the FETTec configurator, which is different from Betaflight. So this does not run Betaflight. It's not compatible with Betaflight. And another clue is the way the motors are laid out. So this is motor 1 over here, and this is the front of the board over here. This is the top of the board. So motor 1's here, 2 is here, 3 is over here, and 4 is over here. So the motor layout is totally different from Betaflight as well, and is not compatible with Betaflight at all. So those of you that are looking for a Betaflight only board, this is not going to work for you. This is going to be for those of you that might want to try out FETTec. Supposedly, the people that fly FETTec, they are very passionate about the firmware and how the firmware runs, and the feel, the flight feel, the tuning, and all that, which is very different from Betaflight. So again, I don't have any background knowledge. This is my first FETTec board that I've ever taken a look at. So we're gonna, I guess, you'll learn along with me as I put this into a quad. But it's a 30 by 30 board, and heat sinks on the top and the bottom, so it's very well protected. You can't get to the components. It's actually there's a screw there that holds it in. So I'm not going to take it apart. So basically, you have these connectors that connect to all your UART components and accessories, and then this one here is a DJI FPV port, and does come with the cables for that. So this the DJI port, I think it's like this. Just plug in, and then this goes to your air unit, probably an O3 air unit or some other DJI wired flight controller or air unit. So could work with first generation as well, because it does have the S-Bus for connecting to the remote. And then you get this bundle of cables. You get 2 of them. You can see it's a really big connector, and you get a whole bunch of cables that come out of here. And I think one's a spare, so the connector's right here. You can see it plugs in right over here, and then all of the things that it goes to are labeled here on the sides, which wire is which. So basically you have your UART, your TX1, telemetry, there's RX3, TX3, buzzer, there's UART4, LED, etc. So that's if you want to wire up those accessories, you're going to plug that in and then solder that to your receiver or GPS or whatever. You got some LEDs here on the side, and also over here. And the board is meant to put it into flight control. The board is meant to put it into the frame like this. So that's forward, and then pointing at you is the top. So this is the top. So the USB is going to be on the side here, and then the motor or the battery connection is going to be on the side as well. So kind of different. You know, typically Betaflight's going to be like this, where the battery connection is coming out of the back, and the motors are going to be soldered to the side. But this is the kind of the opposite. So the motor wires are going to come to the inside of the frame, and they're going to be soldered in inside here, and your battery connection is going to be exposed on the side. So a little bit different philosophy. I think a lot of the FETTec boards are like this. And then you also get a capacitor. This is 35 volts and 470 microfarad. I think this board is only going to go up to 45 amps. I think it bursts like 50 amps or something like that. 3 to 6S for the voltage, so it's obviously going to work well with my 2207 motor there I'm going to be trying out. And with a single board like this, it's going to probably save a little bit of weight on your build. So I might go for like a lighter 5-inch freestyle build, something like that. And here's the rest of the stuff. You get some extra gummies there. You get some MP3 screws and some plastic nuts, nylon nuts there for mounting this into your frame. So this will come out in a future video, hopefully pretty soon. I still have to figure out which frame I want to put all these things into, because basically this being an all-in-one with the flight controller and ESC all together, you know, you just need a frame, motors, this, and then your FPV system, which could be pretty much anything. It could be walk snail, could be HG0, could be analog, could be DJI 03. Yeah, so it pretty much makes up your quad. Anyway, if you're curious about these parts and how they're going to perform, the motors, FETTec, that stuff in general, that'll be in the video that this stuff will be put into, that build. And so if you've got questions, go ahead and pop them down below in the comment section, and then I'll try and answer them when the review comes out for this video. That'll do it for this one. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.